Okay, here we go. My paperwork.
I've got to start doing some cardio. I've been doing some cardio Welcome back to Your Hour. Joining me now is Nicholas St. John, who's the author of 2 books, The Immunity Crisis in America and Human Viral Infections and 9 Things You Can Do to Smack Them Down. So what are we talking about today?
Well, interestingly enough, it's back in the news even though it's basically over.
Yeah.
Ebola.
Mm-hmm.
They have finally declared the Ebola outbreak of 2014-2015 officially
Over.
done.
Okay.
And the way they do that is that they claim the incubation period is about 21 days. So if you have a fairly strong immune system, if you've gotten through 19 days without showing any symptoms, you're probably not going to, okay, unless you do something out of the ordinary. So they double that period to 42 days. And so if a country like Liberia or Guinea or Sierra Leone has no new outbreaks in 42 days, which is twice the incubation period, the suspicion is that it's been it's eradicated or essentially brought under control. So, and so that was part of the news last week. The other news is that in the Liberian Daily Observer, they put out an article on the fact that there's a company they got awarded, I think, $5 million to work on a vaccine.
Okay.
And so
Vaccine for?
Ebola.
Okay.
And so back to my premise that we should get out ahead of this instead of always catching up, these guys still don't understand that yet. So they're still catching up, all right? So they have 200 volunteers complete Ebola trial test. And so I was just reading through that, but they came out and they said they've got it, the guy that's in charge of this is Dr. Fauci, is the director of U.S. National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases. So anyway, but he goes, oh yeah, we've seen some pretty good results from this, but again, it just illustrates how they just keep working on the idea that we something gets introduced to us, and then we have to run to the labs to go fix it. And so again, they seem to think, but it's a very expensive proposition
I'll bet.
to do,
Uh-huh.
and there's no guarantee of its success, and we don't know what kind of side effects it'll have. Surprise, right? So
It probably weakens your
immune system. So what do they say? What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Yeah.
But I'm back to the idea that Einstein said it best. Let's make things as simple as possible, but no simpler. And I just am continue to be amazed at how complicated the science and the medical industry can make these things. And so I went back through this, and
call that job security.
well, that's part of it. I said, if you had millions coming into your cancer research facility, when would you find a cure for cancer, right?
Exactly.
You would never find one, not unless you wanted to become unemployed, right? So if you come up with a cure for cancer, make sure you're socking away a bunch of cash because you're going to be unemployed once you do. All right, so I decided to go back and do some research on laser, whatever it is. It's going to be, there's always another one in the wings. And we're never going to get completely out of all of this. So the best thing to do is what? Strengthen our immune system.
Okay, I've heard that somewhere before.
I feel like I'm a broken record here, but until we get that into us, we need to take back our healthcare system and take back our own health care. And the best way to do that is to quit being on the defense, waiting for someone to come with a vaccine, come up with another way to get a treatment or a cure, and still categorically across the board, when it comes to viral infections, that they just say there is no cure. We have no treatment except we'll make you comfortable. Thanks, I'll be comfortable until I die.
Yeah, exactly.
Not
Such
a great.
a cheery thought.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, I mean, and those are the, I mean, when you look at Ebola, 30,000 people were made comfortable until 11,000 of them died.
Yeah.
That's not a good treatment.
No.
So I went through this, and essentially, the idea of hemorrhagic fever is what Ebola, Marburg, and a number of these other viruses cause. Well, essentially, it's caused that because of the way it depletes vitamin C. Now, a lot of the guys will argue with you over that. There's actually a study coming out of patients who survived Ebola. I am very interested in seeing that if they'll release it to me.
Yeah.
But I want to know if they ever took one single reading of someone's ascorbic acid levels in their body. And my guess is they didn't, but it would be great if they did. But so, you know, if you look at scurvy and what that was, and that was, you know, when sailors got on ships, they were gone for weeks and months at a time. Well, when you're eating a regular diet and you're getting vitamin C on a regular basis, the body will store up a lot. Now, there's half-lives and all this stuff, but essentially it takes from a regular diet of, you know, 50, 60 milligrams a day, it will take you about 90 days without any new coming in until you've depleted it.
Okay.
Once you deplete it, the ability to make collagen, which is a major factor of vitamin C, is stopped. You need collagen. It holds all the cells together. So blood vessels, because they're expanding and contracting all the time, are one of the highest uses of collagen. So as you stop making it, all of a sudden it expands, and now there's a breach. So it doesn't come back together right, because now there's a hole in it. And where they'll show up are in the nose, in the ears, in the throat, in the mouth. You know, so, and you can press, if someone's got it, you press their skin, and that can rupture those capillaries.
Oh, wow.
So it gets very,
very brittle.
Right. And so when you look at it, that's scurvy. Well, when you look at hemorrhagic fever, it's the exact same thing, but it didn't take 90 days to get there, because this virus depletes vitamin C at such a phenomenally fast rate that you find yourself there in 2, 3, 4, 5 days.
Wow.
And so it's the exact same, they start bleeding the exact same way that scurvy did, and we know how to cure scurvy. Limes. Well, you're not going to eat enough limes to cure Ebola, but a 25,000 milligram shot of vitamin C is a huge step in the right direction. I did a thing of the $5 million grant. It could give all 30,000 of those patients 16 treatments of 25,000 milligrams instead of reverse all that.
Right, wow. And can you get too much vitamin C?
You really can't. You can't OD, it's water soluble, so while your body absorbs and keeps, the rest of it just uses urinated out.
Well, thanks for joining us today.
I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
And we'll be right back, so stay with us.
And to my audience out here on Periscope, I want to thank you for joining me today, and I hope you enjoyed that. You can always come back and catch another broadcast of that. Thank you.